Gates has an
initially,
interesting
we were not
testimony.
afforded access to images and to radar. Thereafter, we had a bit of a discussion about how authorities flow in the United States of America, and we did see the image. And we did meet with one member of the flight crew who took the image. The image
You have just an image, right?
was of something that I am not able to attach to any.
From that angle, he looks like an alien. Whoa.
Human capability, either from the United States or from any of our adversaries. And I'm somewhat informed on the matter, having served on the Armed Services Committee for 7 years, having served on the committee that oversees DARPA and advanced technologies for several years.
So he's most likely well aware of all of DARPA's technologies, right? And their advancements, right?
When we spoke with the flight crew, and when he showed us the photo that he'd taken, I asked why the video wasn't engaged, why we didn't have a FLIR system that worked. Here's what he said. They were out on a test mission that day over the Gulf of Mexico. And when you're on a test mission, you're supposed to have clear airspace. Not supposed to be any.
Right. And also, the military has also admitted that they don't always let all of the test pilots in on all of the testing that's being done. So a lot of times they will inject imagery onto radar screens and create scenarios to test pilots as well.
Thing that shows up. And they saw a sequence of 4 craft in a clear diamond formation for which there is
on the radar
a radar sequence that I alone have observed in the United States Congress.
Yeah, you observed a program on a computer screen.
One of the pilots goes to check out that diamond formation and sees a large floating, what I can only describe as an orb. Again, like I said, not of any human capability that I'm aware of.
So again, like I said, you know all about DARPA's advanced technologies, and a floating orb is alien to you?
And when he approached...
Has he not watched any of DARPA's TV's videos and demonstrations?
He said
Just
that
saying.
His radar went down. He said that his FLIR system malfunctioned, and that he had to manually take this image from one of the lenses, and it was not automated in collection as you would typically see in a test mission.
So it was a test mission that the guy was on, but there's no possible way that his superiors or people that were higher up than that test pilot would have been testing him using other technologies, like maybe devices and equipment that shut aircraft's radar systems down for defensive purposes. I mean, this is all technology that they have in their budgets admitted that they've been researching, developing, and deploying. So is it at all possible, Mr. Gates, that maybe that test pilot was really truly being tested out there on that test ground? I don't know. Probably not. It's probably all aliens. Gates looks like an alien here.
So I guess I'll start with Commander Fravor. How should we think about the fact that this craft that was approached by our pilot had the capability of disarming a number of the sensor and collection systems on that craft?
Again, all technologies that DARPA themselves have published and have demonstrated in multiple videos on their own DARPA TV YouTube channel even, that they have those capabilities to actually do exactly that. So again, why are we doing this UAP thing? And Mr. Gates, my question to you is, you have the power to subpoena anybody you want to come there, pretty much, right? So why aren't we seeing the top DOD and Pentagon folks and the military folks, the top people, okay, at this hearing? Why are we only given these actors, okay, which are clearly making false statements? I'm sorry, but haven't any of these guys seen any of the demonstrations done with drone technology in the last decade? Just in the last decade alone? Prior to that, they were working on it as well. But just in the last decade alone, the advancements that have been made with drone technologies. For the one so-called whistleblower, in which, by the way, folks, here's a little clue. Real whistleblowers don't live. Okay? Just saying. The only whistleblowers that are allowed to live and tell their stories are the actors that are playing whistleblowers. Just saying. This whole thing is just ridiculous to me. Haven't any of these people at this hearing, including those so-called military professionals and those so-called pilot representatives, none of them have seen any of the videos and the advancements that DARPA has made in the last 10 decades with drone technologies, how they can make these things literally stop on a dime, raise up and down and hover. For Christ's sakes, there's other countries that are putting on these very elaborate drone shows. And there's some magicians even that are incorporating this shit into their magic shows, this type of technology where they can hover and they can move very fast. Mr. Gates, have you not seen any of the drone racing and the drone racing leagues out there? To sit there and say under oath that they are not aware of any advanced technologies that would allow something to hover and then take off really super fast is a complete lie and an insult to our intelligence. Seriously? Folks, this is a joke. And if this is just another distraction, but again, this is another one of those things where they are implanting information and they are influencing public opinion concerning things drifting around in our skies above our heads. This is going to provide additional distraction, additional clutter, and additional miscontext and misinformation for them launching these projects in our near-Earth orbit. And by projects, I mean projects that include them drifting solar power cells containing chemicals and toxic agents and compounds over our heads, as well as solar power systems that not just collect the solar power, but are up there interfering and taking our sunlight and our energy from our sun and intercepting it before it's allowed to get down here to ground level. They're hijacking our solar power systems. Okay? And this whole thing with the UAP, this is a joke. This is a complete and total joke and an insult and a slap in the face. Mr. Gates, I'm sorry. You're just a joke. And you know what? You look kind of like an alien. So I'm just saying, if there's any possibility of aliens out there, I bet you this guy would be one.